Good morning, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you go back to the video post and type that you're present there, alright? Make sure you type your presence here on the video post on the day. Reason why is in the live chat here, the post will get mixed along with the conversation and it's gonna be too difficult to view who is present and who is not. So just to have an organized structure, type that you are present using the video post. So yesterday we had a good amount of people posting they were present. Today we have less. This we'll see and wait for those who might come on, but I'm not gonna wait too long because we should get right into the content. I'm gonna post the assignment form as well. Remember that assignments won't have a due date so that you will have time to finish them, and remember that the forms are only methods for collecting the assignments. So make sure you use the form only to send me the assignment of that day. Alright? So if you look here, I think some of my previous class chat has merged with this one. Not sure why, but I guess that's it. That's the case. So for your assignment today, we'll be doing something familiar by going to Replit/languages/QBasic. The assignment for today is something simple. We've done this before, to calculate the area of a circle and also to create the flowchart that accompanies the basic code. Code will be tested on QBasic. However, all submissions will be done using Microsoft Word. If you need me to speak louder, I can try and do that. So we'll get right into it. We begin our code by telling the users what the program does. As you all know, the print commands are reserved to display all content found within the quotation marks as is. So whatever you type in the print is up to you, and it's completely your choice as the programmer to decide how much detail is going to be displayed to the user or how less details will be displayed to the user. For example, on line 2, I'm telling the users that the radius is required, even though we haven't been doing that so far, but maybe we can showcase how advanced or how simple you want to make your explanation be. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can always go and use Google Docs, search for it. The work is this right here. Type out the code and test the code using QBasic on Replit. Number 4, line 4. The input command, again, this is just clarification for those who still don't understand, is used to set a value into a variable from the user's perspective. When you type input and run your program, the program will pause wherever the input is found and it will continue to wait until the person enters a value. This value that is being entered will be stored in this word called radius, and that's how we can access the value in the future. You have to remember that variables are basically virtual containers that hold values to be stored and to be used again by the programmer. Notice that we do not ask for the value of pi because we can simply manually set the value of pi into this value here. When we do this, we are setting a variable and giving it a value beforehand. We know that pi is around 3.14 and we don't need the user to go ahead and enter pi for us. So notice this does not use any keyword like input or print. We are making up a variable from scratch. We're giving it a name and we're calling it pi. Could even call it pi the dessert. It's up to you. Just know that whenever you want to access this value, you must call on the word PIE going forward. And again, the values are completely up to you as a programmer. It doesn't have to be exact depending on whatever application you are doing. For in this case, 3.14 perfectly suits our needs for this demonstration. If you look at the variable radius, we do not set a value because the value will be retrieved when the user enters the value. So you could think of input being a future setting of the variable that will be done by the user. We don't know what that value is yet until the user enters it during runtime. Runtime is when the program is executed, it's being run, and values can be set during runtime by users using this form here, input radius. So we go ahead and continue, and we can print the answer that the area is. And line 7 is a combination between printing text as we've done so far, and the print keyword is found here. However, we're combining both text display and also a calculation to be displayed. I'll show you how to submit this work in a little while, so just listen for now. We know that the formula, or we should know that the formula of the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, or to represent a square, we multiply the same number twice. So one thing to note is that the radius, we don't know the value yet, but if we will multiply the value to get the formula's answer. We know the value of pi, which is 3.14. So we call upon the values by typing out the name of the variable. It is kind of like saying that, alright, radius will be entered by the user here, and that will be the number that we use to calculate, and so forth and so forth. So this semicolon separates displayed text in quotation marks, and the semicolon on the right hand side displays using variables to calculate some answer. We can't use pi times radius times 2 because 2 pi r, or pi radius times 2, is equals to the circumference of a circle. Remember, we're doing the area of a circle, so it's important that we know the different formulas, right? So if we tell the users that we're doing the area, they might be confused as to why this program is not giving out the correct answer, right? We're not using Excel for these works here. We're using Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word is basically your text editor. It's where you're gonna type out your information. So we're gonna go ahead and run this program. Notice on line 4 we wait for the input of radius, and it doesn't continue until we enter a value. I typed in 5 and I pressed the enter key, and then it calculates 3.14 times 5 times 5. And if you think about it, 5 times 5 is 25, and then 25 times 3 is 75, but because of the decimals we get all the way up to 78.5. Some things to remember is that when you're creating variables, you have to name them according to, well, you don't have to name them according to what you're doing, but it helps a lot if the names you give the variables are relative to what you're trying to do. Obviously, we're using the radius to calculate the area, so we're gonna name the variable radius. not all words are permitted. For example, you can't name a variable after a keyword that the program uses. So if I put input, this isn't going to work because we can't use the word input as a variable because the word input is already a special word used by the program. So as long as the program doesn't give an error, or as long as you don't see the text changing color for some reason, then you can use that name as a variable. So we have two cases of variables here, right? This one is a variable that is being set by the user during runtime, meaning when the program is run, and then this one is set by the programmer, I guess you could call it during coding. So this is basically permanent. This value will not change unless somewhere along the lines of the program I will decide and say, well, alright, I know pi is 3.14, but in this area I want pi to just be 3, and then if I decide to use pi here, then it's gonna assume the new value because I reset it here. But for all intents and purposes, pi will remain as 3.14 for this program. Yes, I did. We're just going over the pseudocode now. So now that you run this and it is confirmed to be working, this is when you go and open up your Word file. And then this is where you paste that information. Well, let me show you guys. Paste that information. And this is your assignment, by the way. Do the pseudocode for this, and then go forward and do the flowchart for this program. So what we're going to do here is always include our start. So a little bit of manipulation that you can do is, if you don't want to always go into the insert shape and always be picking shapes more than once, you could actually draw the shape once, right click on the shape, drag it, let go of the right click, and then select copy here, and it'll basically copy the shapes for you. This only works, of course, if you're using the same shapes multiple times. And the reason why I like doing the pseudocode first is I can count out every action. And remember, every action line in your pseudocode corresponds to a certain shape. Prints and outputs are the rhombus or slanted rectangle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prints outputs. So definitely I'm gonna need 5 of these shapes. And then I have one assignment, which is when I assign a variable manually. I do this by myself, and this one uses the straight square. It's known as a process. So we select the straight square and we'll draw it right here, and we're gonna put that line of code right here. And then finally we'll put our ending shape here. Of course, we'll need to change the text from start to end. That should help you guys do your flowcharts a lot faster. Pi, remember this, when you have an equals and a value, that's called a process, and it's right here. That's when we set something, right? The slanted rectangles are inputs, or in this case input radius, or any output, in this case any printing, because this is what the user will see in the program. Yes, now we go ahead and start putting in the arrows. We can draw one arrow to the next, and again you can do the same thing we've done. Right click, drag the arrow, copy here. Same thing for this. Go right click, drag the arrow, copy it here. But in this case you'll need to click on this and reorient the arrow manually, right? Copy this, copy here, and again just reorient the arrow and make it look a little bit better, right? You could do this on a folder sheet if you don't want to or don't feel comfy using Word. Take a picture of that folder sheet. Make sure you try and take a clear picture and then you can upload the picture instead of this file. Alright, trying to give you guys the best possible methods of submitting your work. Alright, so again, go ahead in here, right click, edit text, print, and then you basically put the information from the program itself. If it doesn't fit, just change your shape to be a little bit larger. You can go ahead and abbreviate the entire text, so you can just say this program and just put ... and I'll just reference the pseudocode and say, okay, you're basically representing this line here, and so forth and so forth, right? The radius, and again, no need to type out everything, just abbreviate the line, and I'll collect that as is. So for your assignment today, finish this flowchart, finish the pseudocode, make sure you test the code on Replit just to make sure it runs. When you're done, make sure you click on File, Save As. Desktop will be, I'm gonna save it on my desktop. Name will be according to the day of the video, your name, and then your class. Click on Save. I can close this now. Go to the assignment post for day 2. Open the form. Enter your name, your last name, your class, and then upload your file. If you're doing this on folder sheet, take your picture, look for your picture, and then upload the picture. If you're doing this with Word, look for your Word file and upload that. If you're doing this on Google Docs, which you can do perfectly fine as well, do the same thing. Oops, I went to Forms. Yes. It's supposed to be Google Docs. There you go. Open a new document. Yeah, do the same flowchart. Flowchart should always represent the code that we're writing. And again, same thing, pretty much copy paste from Replit once you get it to work, and then insert drawing, new. It's gonna open up a little drawing area for you. Add your shapes. Again, you can use the same shapes that we've been using. Draw your arrows, so forth and so forth. When you have the full shape drawn here, click Save and Close, and it's gonna insert the full drawing for you. When you're done, click on File, Download it as a Word file, and you see where we're going with this. Save the file on your desktop, then upload it to this form for me and click Submit. When you're done, it should give you this message here. This message is your confirmation. It is your confirmation message. Once you see this message, that means I have received your form. And make sure you guys upload the file, because if you send me your name, your last name, and your class, and I get no file, then I have nothing to grade. I have included this as a required field, so you have to send a file. Send both. Send both. Alright, the flowchart and the pseudocode should be in your Word file here, right? So both should be there. Your name will be part of the name of the file, so I know who's sending what. That's the assignment for today. Something that we've done before, because it's familiar. You're doing it differently in terms of doing it in Microsoft Word. For some of you, it's the same because you're doing it on folder sheet, but the collection method is different. You should be able to do the flowchart on your own, Marco. If not, go back and view the video. You have the notes already that each shape is supposed to be tied to a specific action per line of pseudocode. So take out your textbook, review those shapes. Take out your notebook, review those shapes. Alright, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this as well. So I've been streaming for about 20 minutes. This is about how long I want the videos to go on anyways. If you have any more questions, you let me know in the chat. I'll answer you guys back. Please make sure that you submit the work. Someone said they were gonna submit by Friday. Anroy, sure, that's fine. Like I said, the whole point of having no due date is so that you can submit without being late. And also, it helps those who don't have internet access every day, or who, let's face it, might not be present during the live sessions, right? So it gives you a chance to watch the video at any time and submitting the assignment at any time. So this week we've been live streaming as normal per class time, but I'm considering start posting videos and just naming them based on days, pre-recorded videos basically, and just posting them up in the link as well. Or I can stay and do the live streams. I'm still considering whether to do that next week or not, because sometimes, I mean, some people won't want to be available exactly on our class times, right? Maybe I could just send the pre-recorded video link and just have you guys submit the assignment whenever you can. But that's just an idea. That's just a suggestion so far. Don't know if I'm gonna be doing it. For the assignment, I did, yes, it's in the video. I said to copy the pseudocode and create the flow chart all in one document in Word, or write it all out on folder sheet, take a picture and upload a clear pic. Alright, that's it for today, guys. If you have any more questions, let me know in the chat. The chat will be up for another 5 minutes, so I will be able to answer you guys through the chat. If I do go ahead and decide to just start posting pre-recorded videos instead of having the live sessions, I'll let you guys know on which hours I will be available for questioning. Alright, so I'm still thinking about it. I'm still on the fence about it. So it's either going to be live stream as usual, or maybe I'll just go ahead and send up pre-recorded videos for each form. So it's gonna be like day 6 form 3 or third form, so everybody will be watching the same videos, just that it's not gonna be live. And I'll be online maybe between the times of 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day, and could answer questions at that time. Again, that's just a suggestion. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that yet, but I'll let you know by the end of this week, right? If I don't say anything, then it's live as normal, but if I do specify, then we go ahead and do those pre-recorded videos. It's not gonna change in any way how these classes are done in the classroom. It'll still say video day 2, day 3, and it's still gonna be assignment day 2, day 3, and so forth. The only thing that's gonna change is no live. I won't be answering questions live. I'll be on between 9 and 11 answering questions, probably through the comments of the assignment page, right? So that's all for today. Make sure you do the assignment when you can. See you guys later. It's lunchtime. Go ahead and grab something good to eat, guys. Make sure you eat up. We're all here trying to fight a virus, right? Alright, guys, if no more questions, I'll end the stream here. Comment in the live chat if you have any questions after the stream has ended. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.